Hi, so this is candidate Dr. Andre Reginald Kent Jr. This folder for me is yellow and gold, like local government federal credit union. So aim high. And since I did my doctorate capstone or thesis project, like I said, I haven't had time to actually pull all the stuff together and the formalities together. But I had a conversation with State Employees Credit Union a few weeks ago, a few months ago, and I had a discussion with them about different things that I wanted to bring to the state as far as my lesson plan and as far as the scout program. Now, I have argued my cases and everything for the scout program. I did it through Facebook. I did it through a live medium where Google and Facebook and tech giants could catch it. But I didn't feel the scouts needed to be up under the Veterans Affairs. I felt like they needed to be more so under Social Security, but I didn't feel like they needed to be in low income. And I argued my case and did my projects. And then being a member of State Employees Credit Union and local government federal credit union so long, I decided to bring y'all back a few projects. As you know, that some of them are dioramas that are in here. Be very, very careful. Some of them are dioramas. And I had a little free time, and I wanted to also enter these into my degree catalog as far as global business. And I just chose random topics to do this stuff on. I did random topics to do my stuff on, and I also did random on my personal finances. I looked at my personal finances and I compared them with everything that I was doing back in the day. Out of anything that I could pick in the world, any topic that I could pick in the world for my thesis, I chose what is my net worth. And it was only at the time, up to 2017, I wanted to know what my net worth was and is. And that includes with the addition of the buildings in the school and each of these and the pictures. Not really the pictures. I don't really care about the pictures, how much each picture is worth, unless you put it in some watercolor or watercolor paint and put it on the wall. I wanted to just sit in State Employees Credit Union and marvel at this a little bit. I brought some new projects in. I didn't want to, but that is all is Andre Kent Jr. Y'all do have a project from AJ Kent. You have one or two projects in here probably from AJ, but and I know most people would say, AJ, you should stop using two different. It make you sound for actually. That's how I keep my stuff straight and my finances straight, and I keep my personal and business separate, and I keep my government and lesson plans and stuff separate from my personal business and any business that I open. Because if you want a lesson plan, you gotta take that into the government facilities and systems. So I keep all of that, and the scouts pay in here for as myself. I did my other thesis. The Road to Eagle is one doctorate or master's degree, and the Road to Eagle is one master's and doctorate degree. This right here is anything that is necessary to fill up for a thesis or anything that can be added to a doctorate degree. One piece of paper in here could actually be a master's degree or a doctorate degree, just depending on what school's looking at it and for what and by whom. So be careful. Some of them are not finished. Some of them are not finished on purpose. Here is another for Andre Reginald Kent Jr. Um, Myself, I didn't want to be a pastor. I didn't want to be a corporate chaplain, but I did want to eat. I did want to eat. I did want to be able to feed myself and do volunteer work and service work at the same time. But I had to have a way to eat, and I didn't want to use food stamps. I didn't want to use EBT. I don't like looking cheap. I don't like looking poor. But I'm not saying that's the only reason why. But that's also part of the Scout program. But on church etiquette, this is a whole nother degree. It's a whole nother degree. It's a soundtrack, tour, and everything. It's a whole nother degree to me. And I use this because I wanted to give back to the community, but as the church, I didn't, it's an excellent project in my opinion, but it's just not something that I would do personally. So if I went to school for it, I wouldn't want to be Dr. Kent of church etiquette, teaching them this, that, and other when I put the whole program together and project together as if I was doing it for myself. However, I feel like this would be much better off in the hands of someone else, but it is another degree in there. But let's say that they go on about this one anyway, and I do get my degree behind it, and they still want to go and do this. Okay, what would I do instead? Because there's also food banks, food pantries. Like, it builds a whole diorama, a whole company, a whole dollhouse miniature like at Hobby Lobby. So I rebuilt and remodeled Aiden Griffin High School Health Occupation Students of America. And my recommendations to run the program would be Laura Joyner and Fran Green. And I also did the same thing with Aiden Griffin High School Future Business Leaders of America, Phi Beta Lambda, and my recommendations would be Joyce Dawes. Again, I know they've done it before, but I completely built a new program up under the national teams. I don't even know if they get my emails, but I sent them some stuff. But I remodeled the program to fit inside Aiden Griffin High School on a budget, and this is the regular program with the high school students in it. I guarantee you it's a master's or a doctorate. I did a collaborative studio album for East Carolina University as if I was an alumnus. It's also in here at Kente13 at ecualumni.ecu.edu. It's also in here. So, but I personally, I love being a member. I love being an alumnus. I love being a part of the alumni. And I had other things to do, not to say that I'm just overly busy and stuff, but you gotta know how to delegate certain things. And I got to the point where I have stuff, but it would have been different if I got to that doctorate. And I loved it so much that I want to jump up there, but I just don't think that's fair. So I went and did a project that would suit also the service work behind church etiquette and stuff. I'm not saying they have to run them together, but it would also be pretty nice for church etiquette. I recommended Evelyn Bellamy, Valerie Howell, Gloria Kent, Christopher Howell, Frankie Baggett, Laquan Rogers, Eunice Gooden, William Roach, the Food Bank Program, Central and Eastern North Carolina, Lionsgate, or a member of Goldenmire, Beverly Thomas, Laura Joyner, Tamika Roach, Gloria Finch, Edward Cobb, and Bishop Mosley. And most of them are at Apostolic Deliverance Church of Christ. You can look them up. But that's where I put a lot of stuff in there. Also, Elm Grove Free Will Baptist Church and St. James United Methodist Church. like it takes a village on this church etiquette project, and you needed the right people in charge if they're going to take a project like that. And the operating agreement, I've written down for it to have insurance on it because it needs updating and changing and stuff. But I could not devote all my time to a project where I'm getting ready to hand it off to somebody else. But I do deserve the doctorate, so that would be one, two, three. Is that three doctorates? All right, hop off my